Question 3. Now, modal means mode, so we need to find what happens most often. So we've got 60 factory workers, and this is the distance they travel into work each day. So these are the workers here. So where have we got the most workers? Well, here are the most workers. 18 workers did something, so that happened most often. What happened most often? Well, it's this. They travelled to work between 25 and 30 kilometres. So just literally copy out that answer there. That's the modal class. It's that whole range there. So just copy that out. Now for part B, work out an estimate for the mean distance travelled to the factory each day. So how far on average did each of these workers travel to work each day? Now you've got to get behind the data here. Now we know that 12 workers travel between 0 and 5 kilometres. But we don't know how long they actually travelled for. So the best we can do is just take the midpoint. It's our best estimate. So what's halfway between 0 and 5 kilometres? That's 2.5 kilometres. Halfway between 5 and 10 kilometres, or 7.5, and so on. So we're basically, from now onwards, we're just going to assume these 12 workers travelled exactly 2.5 kilometres, or these 6 workers travelled exactly 7.5. So we're now got to add up all the kilometres travelled into work. So 12 lots of 2.5, 6 lots of 7.5, and so on. So cross multiply and add all of those up, and we get 1,040 kilometres travelled by the 60 workers. Okay, do not just forget what you're doing and divide by the number of rows. That's garbage. Okay, so we've got 60 workers, or let's say we hadn't been given how many workers there were. You could have added up the frequencies. That will also come to 60, because that's the number of workers. So 1040 divided by 60 is 17 1/3. Now have a care at this point. Don't go and just round that because it says it's an estimate. We're not supposed here to give an estimate of a final answer. The estimating's all come about from this initial decision to assume that the workers travelled exactly 2.5 kilometres, etc. So don't fall into the trap of rounding your answer just because this is called an estimate for the mean. Now for part C, one of these workers is chosen at random. Write down the probability that this worker travels more than 20 kilometres to the factory. So as always, if you can, just work in fractions. So the probability is out of 60 workers. How many workers out of 60 travelled more than 20 kilometres? So go back to our table. So look, these 6 workers travel for between 15 and 20 kilometres, so they didn't travel more, but these did. These 14 travelled between 20 and 25, and these 18 travelled between 25 and 30 kilometres to work. So adding these two together gives us the number of workers who travelled more than 20 kilometres. So 14 add 18 is 32, so 32 out of the 60 workers. Now that would have given you full marks. That's the probability, but if you simplify it to either of these, well, that's fine.